You are listening to the East Texas Banner right here at easttexasbanner.com. Got the privilege this morning of sitting down with Jasper Chief of Police Garrett Foster. Chief Foster, I really appreciate you taking time to sit down and talk to us. Really wanted to kind of dig into one of your recent social media posts there talking about the task force and what you guys are doing in conjunction with a number of other, regional law enforcement offices and departments. Just really want to kind of see what that is a little bit more and kind of get an understanding as to what it is you guys are doing.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's the Southeast Texas Violent Task Force. If you hadn't seen it on Channel 6, Channel 12, and everything else, I was at that press conference the other day. They mentioned Jasper PD. What it is basically being proactive and not reactive to crime. And if you've turned on any TV, you've seen the world. It's not just Jasper or Southeast Texas. It's everywhere.
Sure.
So we're trying to take a more proactive approach and including all these different agencies because we've learned, just as Chief Officer said and the Sheriff, Ms. Stevens, it's not just concentrated in Jefferson County and all these other, they cross jurisdictional boundaries all the time.
Yeah.
And we've started noticing that. And what I figured is, whenever one of my guys I assigned to this task force, and it was like he come to me and said, "Hey, we're thinking about creating this particular task force."
Sure.
And what do you think? I said, "Sounds like a great idea to me. It gives me more resources."
Yeah.
Because they said the other day, DEA, ATF, DPS, Needling, all these agencies who've got a wealth of knowledge, all come together, sharing intel. Same crooks might be crossing over here. So it gives us that much more intelligence. And communication is key and intelligence is key. You can't fight any kind of war without intelligence.
Right. Yeah, it seems like communications, between departments is limited a lot of times. And I think, obviously you can get on a phone call and you can make a phone call, but something that's a little bit more seamless, something that's a little bit more proactive seems like, it seems like crime's ramping up, man. It doesn't seem like, and I'm not talking about specifically locally, but it just seems like there's a anxiety that, and I don't know if it's political or whatever it is, but I know this, it just seems like crime's ramping up across the board.
I don't know what the driving force is, but yes, and like I said, normally around these areas, it's either drugs or money.
Sure.
It's revolved around. So we figure, hey, get the prosecutors on board, get rid of these, not the low level.
Yeah.
Let's go after these top people who are pushing the large amounts of drugs, doing and creating these violent crimes, and get those put away. Maybe it may make a difference. I know there's always going to be somebody to replace that one, but if you can't stop it if you ain't at least trying to put a lid on it.
Yeah, it almost seems like sand pouring through your hands with as much that's going on. You're catching this over here, but maybe this is getting by, or that type of thing. You can only do so much with what you're funded to do and how much manpower you got and how much communications you got, the resources that back the law enforcement.
That's exactly why we joined this, because these federal agencies and some of these larger agencies have a lot more resources than little old Jasper.
No doubt.
And like I said, I'm limited on the amount of manpower I can even afford for budget. But if I can assign that, then I get all these other agencies up in this area working, and they've been here.
Yeah.
They've made good cases already here. They just announced this task force here recently, but they've been in the works for a while now, and they've already made cases up here.
Nice.
Some federal cases that so it's working.
Yeah.
Like I said, they have intel and they have different crime centers and stuff that I don't have access to. Now I can call down there, but when they have that personal one-on-one relationship, and they're like Beaumont PDs up here, and they've got a guy or they know people in those.
Sure.
It's a lot easier for them to access that information.
I think it's a great step in kind of, I don't know if this is a real thing, but it's just from a civilian standpoint, it almost seems like, some departments and some law enforcement, there may be a little bit of not as much camaraderie as you would hope. And, everybody in law enforcement, there's a certain camaraderie, but maybe dials down the competitive element and says, hey, we're all in this together. We're all helping you guys. We want to help you guys by providing more resources to some of the underfunded areas because, Jasper's, notoriously underfunded, and a lot of the sheriff's offices, as well. So,
Yeah, I've never understood that. We all got the same same job to do, just a different uniform.
Sure.
Put the bad guy away, make the community safe.
yeah,
And that's what I'm trying to do, especially for Jasper.
10-4. So, also noticed that you guys have a canine, I think canine Mac, who's legit.
He is legit.
I mean,
And part to do with that is his handler. He is dedicated. I mean,
Okay.
you can have a dog that's mediocre,
Yeah.
and mainly it's because of the handler.
Gotcha.
I mean, if he's not out there, that is a daily training, care, obedience.
Right.
It is I had a canine way back in the day. His
Right.
name was Duco, but it is a daily training. He goes to Beaumont, I think, every Monday and trains with those guys down there. He keeps up on his game, and
Yeah.
he makes sure that dog is on point.
Well, and so what was it? It was third place.
Third place. They only give 2 places out, but he actually was third. And I talked to him, and he said the only reason why he got beat was because the second place found the exact amount of articles or dope finds, but he just beat him on time by a little bit because they call time whenever they think they found everything.
Gotcha.
So he barely missed that one.
And he's fourth on, is it apprehension?
Recall.
Recall. Okay.
And that is, I can tell you that those dogs are bad about not wanting to recall. You send them, say, hey, give them the command to go get.
Yeah.
They think, because dogs are not they don't think they're working. They think they're playing.
Sure.
And they don't want to come back after they say you give them a command to bite.
Okay.
And you get one to come back.
Yeah. After that command.
At that command.
Yeah.
I had trouble with mine for a little bit. I had to fix it, but
I got
it's an ordeal.
What kind of a dog is Mac?
I think he's a Dutch Shepherd.
Okay.
A lot of places run Belgian Malinois. That's what I had. But I think I'm almost positive he's a Dutch Shepherd. They're a little bit bigger, a little bit furrier
Nice.
than the Mal. But
So if you decide to run in Jasper, Texas, you've got an opportunity to get.
you might be
tuned
missing
up.
some clothes and probably have some teeth marks. If it's a felony. Now, you can't just send the dog out
Sure,
if it's not a felony. But
Right.
yeah, you might be in a bind.
Yeah, you might be in a bind. Yeah, and I mean, you're not just being chased down by a trained dog. Mac is ranked number 4,
Yeah.
or he placed number 4.
Yeah, because there's other competitions
for
out there.
callback. Yeah, so he may, it might be a good day, might be a bad day, but if you decide to run, you might get to meet Mac firsthand. So I know recently a lot of the license plate cameras and things like that was kind of topic of what was going on in kind of a new thing going on here in Jasper. I mean, obviously, if you're in Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, I mean,
Beaumont,
you're getting
Lufkin.
Beaumont, Lufkin. Yeah, you're getting pictured up anyway.
Livingston, I think, has got them too.
Yeah. How is that going right now?
Well, I mean, we've solved several theft crimes.
Okay.
Identified a stolen vehicle that actually wound up in Lufkin on it. So, I mean,
Really?
And then they've only been installed a couple months, and this has been a grant that's been working on for about 2 years now.
Okay.
Like I told them at council, the majority of this grant, and you've got a kind match, but the majority of the grant is paid for with this grant funds.
Yeah.
And it's all based on how many you got out there and everything else. But yeah, they work, and they're not tracking people.
Yeah.
They take a picture of the license plate, not the person, or whatever. And normally, the only time we look is if there's a crime being committed or there's been entered into a NCIC, TCIC hot list.
Okay. Now, explain that a little
National Crime Identification Center in
Okay.
Texas. It's basically you got felony warrants, probation violations, or something like that, or protective orders, where you don't want that person to say you've got a protective order against so and so, and that vehicle it'll pop. And
Okay.
if it's over here in that vicinity where he knows he ain't supposed to be,
Yeah.
it gives us an alert.
Interesting.
Yeah, or you can say if FBI is looking for a terrorist and they know him in this vehicle,
Yeah.
it will alert us if they come through our area. And I want my guys to know,
Yeah.
especially with all this stuff that's going on in the world right now.
Sure.
I want my guys to know.
Sure.
And-
And I mean, and you guys, you've been around long enough to where, kind of your bad actors, everybody knows them by first and last name, and, making sure that if anything is going on, having that resource, I think is huge. I mean,
Well,
it's huge.
I can tell you this. I mainly thought about it for missing children, abducted children. I know you get the
For
phone,
sure.
it's the most annoying sound in the world.
Sure.
But everybody gets that phone alert,
Yeah.
and people with dementia and the elderly who actually, forget where they get in their car and try to take off, and nobody knows which direction they went.
Yeah.
They just know they left.
Right.
My captain, who used to work for Missouri City, actually said because they've had them up there for years, said he actually recovered 2 elderly individuals who had left in a car. Family members had no clue where they were going or
Right.
where they went,
Right.
and actually located them inside the city, but because of flock.
Dude, that's a narrative shift, in my opinion, because I didn't even think about that. Because I mean, everybody wants to dog on these things because and like we say, I mean, you drive to Beaumont, you're already getting clipped up, with the cameras all throughout. Even I don't know if Hardin County has it, but I'm sure Lumberton's got something. I mean, hell, we all sit there on 96 for long enough. They could take all the pictures they wanted to right there at the office. But I think, to me, the idea of, like missing children, abducted children, but like even your silver alerts and stuff like that, I never even really processed.
Well, you think about it, we've progressed. Over
Sure.
from radio to then the billboards up there. Hey, look for this car or whatever else.
Yeah.
And that's great. People call in, still have that.
Sure.
But if you've got the license plate and you've got these cameras, the DPS has got, I think she told me 1,200 already, and they're adding more.
Yeah.
Through DPS. If you got that and it gives you date, time, and an alert, says, hey, that vehicle that's got this abducted kid in it just passed through 1996.
Yeah.
And an officer gets that alert and can
I think,
tell it that way, or sitting right there
Yeah.
and can save that kid from whatever may happen to him. To me, it's worth it all day, every day.
I agree 100% because I think, I think we have just enough conspiratorial Kool-Aid being poured around here where everybody starts thinking that it's the man. But I mean, you get in a bind, or especially like some of these events, like, it's like the Little League events and stuff like that. I mean, people can get snatched up quick. Little kids can get snatched up quick.
Like we talked about earlier, we can backtrack. The world is getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody would think ever in Little Jasper at the Little League, like you said, something would happen. But you don't know if somebody from Houston and I'm not just saying they're the only bad people.
Yeah, right.
Wherever come from.
Yeah.
Come strolling through there, see all these kids,
Yeah.
snatch one and take off.
Yeah.
And if you got somebody that's got a picture of or even a description, you don't even have to have the license plate, just a description of the car.
Right.
Say hey, I saw it was a red Toyota 4-door. You can put that in there. And
they'll start looking for it.
And you can you can designate time. So, okay, but then this times, if it's in that area, it'll pop. And then now you got a license plate.
Dude.
So like I said, if it saves one kid to me,
it's worth it.
It's worth it.
And
and anybody, think about it. If you're worried about being tracked and Big Brother and everything
what are we
else,
talking about? Yeah.
If they want to track you, who doesn't? You've used Find My iPhone. Or how accurate is that?
Sure.
Who doesn't leave the house with this? They'll turn around and go back home to get their phone because hey, I need my phone.
Yeah.
So if they really, and with the algorithms, you talk about, hey, I'm going to buy a tent, and you look up Facebook, and there's a tent picture ad popping up on there.
Yeah, I need to watch what I'm talking about. Sometimes weird stuff gets some weird stuff comes up on mine. But man, listen, I really appreciate you sitting down with us and just kind of chatting a little bit about what all is going on. I think I think all three of those points are going to be huge. The task force, the canines, obviously going to be a big deal. And how long has the canine been with you guys?
I think he's had him for about 3 years now.
Okay.
He got him real young, and he's progressively, like anything else, he's just gotten better and better and better.
Yeah. Nice. So you're really kind of getting into a sweet spot because, 3-year-old dog.
He might be only 2. I can't remember the exact time when he got him.
Gotcha.
He was young and scrawny. Now he's
jacked, ready to go.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
Yeah, nice. Chief Officer, I appreciate you sitting down with us.
No problem.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.